hurricane, a tidal wave. Essence perfect, life looks brilliant. Give me more of this. I'm out of control, about to blow, and I've been caught in the undertow. So toxic, but I can't get enough. You're firing me, firing me. Yeah, you're firing me, firing me. You've got me hypnotized. Push me out of myself. You've got me hypnotized. Whoa, I can see, I can hear, going crazy for the light. It's got me hypnotized. You've got me hypnotized. Get you out of my hand again.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the AEW post show. Andre C will be joining us in just a few minutes. He is en route to his setup, but for now, for the pre-show coverage, you've got Ola Ed Fries right here, and you've got our wonderful guest, Lauren Goodnight, is back again. Hello, Lauren. How are you today?
I am chipper. How about yourself?
I'm doing good. I had a lot of fun with the pre-show, and then I thoroughly enjoyed watching Guys Grocery Games, I'll be honest. I was not spending $50. I have to replace 4 tires on my car.
I know a lot of people who watched it who didn't spend $50.
Yeah, I don't. If I'm not gonna buy it, I don't want to steal it. You know what I mean?
I don't know. I buy it, but I also am happy to tell people not to dick ride a billionaire. It's just, yeah, I'm not. If you want to see wrestling, I mean, yes, you should be paying for it. If, however, you cannot, and it's owned by a multi-million-dollar company, it's like seeing someone shoplifting baby formula at a Walmart. You didn't see it. You didn't see it. No harm, no foul. Yeah.
Can't see me. But we're here. We're gonna go ahead and talk about. I've seen the results. It sounds like it was a wonderful show. I've seen lots.
It was sick. It was sick. It was so sick. And it was so sick. Fuck yeah, whose house, bitch? Whose fucking house?
It was always going to be Swerve's house. It was always going to be Swerve's house.
Swerve's house.
We'll get there. In about an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours, we'll get to Swerve's house.
No, we're going to get to it right damn now. Oh. I don't know how much head trauma this man gave his best friend. But my God.
Oh, shit. It's the man Ed. Yes. I am temporarily filling in right now as Andre is en route. Andre and Lauren will cover the bulk of the show once Andre arrives. Let's go ahead and start where we unexpectedly started on the Forbidden Door 0 hour.
I was not expecting
Kyle Fletcher versus in a match solely done so we could make sure that everybody understands that Kyle Fletcher is no longer the Ring of Honor television champion. Kyle Fletcher took on Serpentico.
I'm a Nyla Rose fan, so I love seeing Serpentico get beaten up.
I mean,
they have a mock rivalry on
they do.
On Twitter. It's very amusing. And
I
love
is one of the greatest. Is one of the greatest on Twitter. She's rivaled only by Drew McIntyre.
Yeah. I love seeing Kyle Fletcher tear it up. He's barely out of young boy trunks. And even still, I look at him occasionally. I'm like, You're too young. You're too young to be working with like adults. But yeah, I mean, that smug little shit did a good job. That
Yeah, and
brainbuster on the rope before the pin was sick.
he
Absolutely
had the
sick.
match won. He
Yeah.
had the match. So you know what? I'm a little pissed off. I lost my title. I'm just gonna go ahead and do something a little bit more fun.
Yeah.
Drops the pentacle on his fucking head on top of the turnbuckle with a brain buster. Go for it,
Yeah.
man. In 3 minutes and 10 seconds, Kyle Fletcher defeats Serpentico. As I messaged to a friend of mine in front of a 1/5 filled crowd because it was 68 minutes before the show, just like Ring of Honor crowds normally are. The 1/5 filled crowd.
You dick.
I have started watching Ring of Honor because of the Honor Ramble that we have here, and I sometimes fill in on it. And I love Ring of Honor. I've been a long time Ring of Honor fan. It's how I adore New Japan so much, and why this show every year always interests me more than anything else AEW does.
Yeah.
Is because it's the show where I get to see some of my favorite Japanese wrestlers over here stateside at a decent time.
Yes, that is
Speaking of my
absolutely
favorite,
worth thinking about.
speaking of my favorite Japanese wrestler, in a 4-way tag team match, we had the Kings of the Black Throne, Malachi Black and Brody King, taking on Tomohiro Ishii, my favorite boy in the world, and Kyle O'Reilly, versus Roderick Strong and the mentally unstable Gabriel Kidd, along with Gato, Matt Taven, and Mike Bennett, versus Private Party, Marquez Quinn, and I forget
Mark Quinn and Brother Zay. Yeah.
Kings of the Black Throne win this match in 8 minutes 35 seconds. It felt like it went 15, and I enjoyed every single moment of it.
I really enjoyed seeing Gabe over here. He's a hoss, just let everybody know he's a hoss, and now everybody got to see him be a hoss on free TV. I loved when Ishii and King would beat the shit out of each other. That was great. Just throwing Isaiah around. Private Party had a great showing, which they've needed for a while. And I don't know. There is not a Kyle O'Reilly match I won't enjoy. He is my little scrungly man. He is poor wet kitten out in the rain. He is Snoopy, whereas Ishii is Pitbull.
Yes.
So
Ishii is the wonderful Stone Pitbull. One of the things I really enjoyed in this is early in the match, there's a moment where Roderick goes to clear out the corners, and he goes to hit Kyle, and he stops.
Yes.
But then, the same joy that I got out of that moment, I also lost the same amount of joy when 4 minutes later in this match, all of a sudden there's a hockey fight going on where everybody's fighting each other, and Roderick and Kyle are fighting each other. And I'm like, this kind of defeats the
it makes sense. It makes sense because only Roddy can beat Kyle's ass.
Okay.
You can't just be Roddy's friend and beat Kyle's ass. Only Roddy gets to beat Kyle's ass.
That works. I'll let that one slide. I like that.
Yeah, I mean they were the the undisputed era for so fucking long. I mean, they're the only ones who can whip each other's ass.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. They've known each other forever.
And we just want to go ahead and shout out Mike the Ref. Thank you for bringing the crowd over here. We greatly appreciate it. Mike the Ref just had a fantastic showing as he went all 7 hours of this show with the pre-show and everything else. Him and Zodiac had a great show.
Absolutely
a minor disagreement in the chat that we won't bring up over here, but we had a little discussion between the three of us. The question was asked of how much narcotics I may have had when I made my statements, but you know, it is what it is.
Oh dear.
But no, it was a great show. I always say if I'm gonna watch AEW, I watch it on Mike the Ref stream. I go ahead and listen to Mike the Ref and enjoy everything that's going on over there because that man does incredible work. Millie C here saying, hi, y'all. I'm here for Ed being bitter over things on a show that he mostly didn't even watch.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
I will not be giving strong opinions about moments of the show I did not watch, which is why I'm here now talking about 0 Hour, which I watched in its entirety. I'd also like to say that I adored the segment where they promoted the shoe. There's a brand new,
Yes.
it's a Reebok shoe, if I remember correctly. In Champ Sports and Reebok, I believe.
Yes, it's a Reebok shoe, and Champ Sports is doing the distribution. It will be available. What did they say? July 2nd, July 1st.
I think so.
Like it could be available right now, and I wouldn't know. But it's a lovely shoe, and they did bring on Amanda and -1 to discuss sort of how it came about and what it means, and you know where the proceeds are going, which is a charity about like processing loss and grief, especially with kids. And so it looks like a great shoe. It looks like it'll be fun. And it's just a good shoe. Like it's a sick looking shoe.
And also, I can't say it enough how incredible RJ City. I know RJ City gets a lot of hate.
Oh, he's amazing.
City, he is so perfect with -1. Those two are magic together. I adore the two of them together.
Do you watch Hey EW?
I do.
Do you watch this show? Okay.
Almost every week.
Okay, so you know that like I truly believe that RJ City has done more for the mid card of AEW than anyone else, period. RJ City made me care about characters I wouldn't have even given a shit about before. And I am the biggest Harley Cameron person now because of Hey EW.
I'll also say when -1 is older, 5 to 10 years from now, and he's ready to have that first match, I want it to be RJ.
Oh, that would be cute.
I think it would be adorable if the first match that -1 has, and maybe it's his only match. I don't know. I know he's signed to a contract. You know, it's a contract for professional wrestling. I'd love to see a match, his first professional match, be against RJ. I think there'd be something fun with that. I think that
could be fun. It could be a good time. It could be a ball. Who knows? I'm at that point, like I don't see RJ wanting to step in a ring. Like he doesn't want to step in a ring now.
Nope.
10 years from now, he's not going to want to step in a ring. But 10 years from now, I keep thinking like, who would his first match be against? And it's like, I think Preston Vance might be a really good choice.
Yeah.
John Silver, of course, anybody who was in the Dark Order, but for some reason, Preston Vance, like that really hits right.
If the worlds aligned in the perfect way, Cody Rhodes. I'm just saying. If you can align every star in the world, Cody Rhodes.
Well, yeah, and I mean, everybody knows how like how close they are, and -1 was at WrestleMania on stage with Amanda and Brandy. Just that was just so cool. So yeah, that would be ideal. I love that. That would be
It
super
would
ideal.
bookend everything. It's Brody's last match. It's -1's first match. It kind of ties that perfect road together. And if anybody can bridge that gap to make it happen, it's Cody Rhodes.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
We move on to Willow Nightingale and Tom Nakano defeating Chris Statlander and Momo Watanabe. I did find out, thank you to commentary, I did find out that Momo in Japanese apparently stands for peach.
Yes, it does.
It's one of the few things that they told me that I actually understood. Oh, Ron Robotron. That means we got another.
Hey, there's a raid. Hi.
We've got Get the Tables. Get the Tables, another great friend who does all kinds of watch-alongs, all things WWE and AEW. If you're not, Mike the Ref does strictly AEW stuff. If you need your WWE fix, definitely go ahead and take a look over at Get the Tables, and let's get a shout-out over to Get the Tables. How did you guys enjoy your stream tonight? I know you guys did a nice long watch-along as well. Let us know what you thought. Diamond Dave says AEW sucked. I saw the things I saw, and I'm going to disagree because even the things I saw were pretty good.
I don't think Diamond Dave is here to have a normal discussion. I think he's here to cause some shit. Yeah, this was an excellent show from bell to bell. This was an excellent show. There was not a single bad match. I was the kind of sicko they were booking for. But we were in the middle of talking about the Statlander Watanabe Nightingale Nakano match.
Yeah, we have Get the Table saying really enjoyed the show. Thank you, Tony. I greatly
appreciate it. It's good to see you get the tables. People have very good things to say about you. So
fantastic watch-alongs. We had him on for the post-WrestleMania coverage on night one. People Diamond Dave is Tony. No, not that Tony. He's talking about Tony from Get the Tables. They're both co-hosts. They're having their own little fun banter. But no, you were talking about Willow Nightingale and Tom Nakano taking on Momo and Chris Statlander.
Yes. I found the back and forth between Momo and Tam to be more compelling than with Stat and Nightingale, just because I know that they're working towards their OMG, this is a crazy, amazing match. I don't know. Where do you think they'll have it? Do you think they'll have it at the pre-show at All In or something?
Well, I mean, they're having their match Wednesday, so we'll get that. It's Statlander versus Nightingale on Wednesday on Dynamite.
Yeah, I don't see that being the last one of those.
No. I mean, I think they'll get a pre-show, a 0-hour match for All In.
That was what I thought. Is this is going towards their own singles match on a show, but they don't have, neither of them has a belt, so there's no need to put them on the main show.
Well, no, they might even not be there because Mariah will win the tournament and have the match at All In, so it doesn't matter. I wasn't sure where the finals match was taking place. I forget it takes place before.
Yes. But
Millie says, I feel like that's just getting started. I wholeheartedly agree that feud is just getting started. I enjoyed
that
seeing
feud could live a long time.
Momo Watanabe and Tom Nakano, like you, I focused more on them than I did on Chris and Willow because I wanted to see the people that I don't get to see very often, these wonderful women from Stardom. And they were fantastic. Tom Nakano is this adorable little princess girl. Oh, she's great.
Love her so much.
Yeah.
Momo's got that vibe. Momo's got a vibe.
You know what I kind of want to see? I want to see Momo Watanabe versus Hikaru Shida. I really do. I feel like they've got that similar vibe where they could go out there and tear down the house.
I wonder if they've done it.
They might have. I mean, Hikaru Shida is definitely a former Stardom star, if I remember correctly.
I'll
We do have
check
Kyle
later. It's
Clark
not worth
coming in here and
something I want
saying,
to take a look at now.
"Hey all,
Fabulous show tonight.
fabulous show tonight. I'm altogether exhausted for a run-in, so I hope you have a great stream." Well, thank you, Kyle. We greatly appreciate it. Hikaru Shida is awaiting the winner of our next match. So we'll talk about where Hikaru Shida is and what she's got going on in just a few minutes. Millie does say you don't need a belt to be on the main card, and you shouldn't. I agree. However, I will say that there are going to be far too many matches that they're going to try to shove on the all-in card as it is, that I don't think Statlander versus Nightingale is going to get to the heights that it needs to be on that card. At least not for the main show.
Right.
But this was a great tag team match. 10 minutes, 15 seconds, got plenty of time. Everybody got their stuff in, and at the end of the day, I believe Willow Nightingale pinned Momo Watanabe. No, was it Tom?
No, Tam got Willow with a hammerlock German suplex, and
Okay.
Tam got the pin.
Oh, yes, because then she bridged out of it into her celebration, and it was the most adorable thing ever.
It was lovely. I really enjoyed that match.
Diamond Dave, does All In get 20 matches? Probably not. I think
Sure, give us more content for money, man. I am happy to have, a solid show. I pay money. I love having nice things.
If they're going to charge $50 for it, they might as well put as many people on it as we can.
Yes. And I don't know. I just think it's a lot of fun. I also hate belts being defended on pre-shows, but I understand how doing so can get people wanting to watch the main show. Yeah.
Yeah. And thankfully tonight we didn't have that.
We didn't have to at all. Yeah. That was great. So
we did have Melly saying that part. I'm assuming she's talking about the hammerlock German suplex into the bridge that she ended up bridging into, like the little backflip to be on her hands and knees. It was great. I thoroughly enjoyed it. And Kyle K. Sparks coming in, our fact checker extraordinaire. To my knowledge, no Shida versus Momo match has ever happened to date.
Then it should happen. It should happen for us.
It should.
Book it for us, Tony. Book it for the sickos. Come on. We're here for this.
Then, speaking of the sickos, in all connotations you can imagine, we have Mariah May.
Whoa. We actually have to not do this match until Andre gets here, just out of niceness and not being, major dicks. I'm sorry, but I get it. He has a favorite. You wouldn't do this to me on a Mox match.
No.
So
we're not talking about Mina Shirakawa. Mina Shirakawa is his favorite, not Mariah versus Saraya.
That said, the storyline progressed in a certain manner.
All right, so we'll move on a little bit to the final pre-show match, and then we'll go back once Andre's here. So we'll go back to the Lucha Brothers and Mystico, AAA and CML working together, and we'll talk more about that in a moment. Defeating Los Ingobernables de Japón with Yoshishida, Titan, and Hiromu Takahashi. Whew.
Do you need me to give that a go?
No, I think I got it. The only one I really screwed up is Chishida.
Sugiyota.
Sugiyota, okay.
And Takahashi, Hiromu. Yeah, Hiromu Takahashi, Yota Tsuji, and Titan, with, of course, Mystico. And
this is fun. I thoroughly enjoyed this match. I thought it was great.
It was great fun. Yes. I had to step away for the first half of the match. I was not feeling well. It's sort of the same thing that's been going on recently. You know how that goes. But God, it was so fucking sick, man. There was this one point where Titan kicked Phoenix's fucking face off. It was beautiful. It was the hardest hit of the entire match, and I truly believed that Rey Fenix was dead.
I mean, I watched Rey Fenix walk across the top rope at about 3 miles an hour, and I thought he literally kicked Titan's head off. at one point when he got the hot tag at one point. This is just it's I love Penta and Rey Fenix. I think that they are ultra superstars. The fact that they are in the position that they're in this company is shocking, to say the very least. Like, for a company that prides itself on tag team wrestling, we had the Kings of the Black Throne, Private Party, and the Lucha Brothers all on the pre-show.
Yeah.
Like, these are people who should be challenging for championships, and we have them on the pre-show, nowhere near championship aspirations, with the exception of, I believe, Private Party might be nearing... No, they're not nearing. No, it's the Acclaim that's nearing a tag team match with the Elite, right?
The Acclaimed have a tag team match with the Elite on this show.
Well, no, I know that, but
it was a 3-man. But yes, the Acclaimed, I want to say they're up next.
Yeah.
I want to say they're up next. We'll see how that all comes out in the wash. But Private Party is not. Are you mixing up Private Party and the Acclaimed?
No. I know the difference.
Is that what you're doing?
No, I know the difference. One is two wonderful young boys who do fantastic work, and one is Anthony Bowens with an anchor on his neck.
Oh shit! You're not wrong. You're not fucking wrong.
When I saw after the match that Max Caster was more excited that Fox News tweeted about his rap than anything else, it told me more than all I needed to know about Max Caster. Yeah. I can't wait for the day where Anthony Bowens gets to turn on Max Caster. I can't wait for that day.
I will follow Anthony Bowens to the gates of hell. He's so good. I can't wait until I literally cannot wait until they take the yoke off his neck and fuck it. Just like go. Yes, free Bowens. Thank you. Millie's got it right.
However, we are still talking about the Lucha Brothers and Mystico versus LIJ. And
yes, sorry.
I want to say something here. Mystico, I don't know what it is about not being in WWE and the differences between not being in WWE and being everywhere else. But man, does this man feel more calm anywhere besides a WWE ring? Like, this man could not have a WWE match without botching. And he's doing the greatest of ease in this match. I thoroughly enjoyed watching Mystico here. And after this match, on an digital exclusive, Mystico challenged Penta for a match in CMLL. We are going to potentially see a CMLL star take on a AAA star in CMLL. Tony Khan's money may have actually softened the Hatfield and the McCoys feud.
Everybody knows that these corporations wouldn't happen without 3 people. Mm-hmm. 3 and only 3. At least on the American side, 3 and only 3. Jon Moxley, Rocky Romero, Tony Khan. John is the face, Rocky is the body, and Tony is the pocketbook. Absolutely fixing pro wrestling. Like, I hate to be that bitch, and I'm not dick riding, but you know who I am dick riding? Fucking Rocky Romero.
Mm-hmm. And it was
I
great
will happily give him his propers every day.
And it was great hearing Rocky Romero throughout this pre-show, whenever they would go back to the stage and talk about the different matches, when they'd be like, oh, there's a New Japan star. Rocky, go ahead and tell us about them. And Rocky would just glowingly talk about all these fantastic New Japan and Stardom people.
Yes.
I've always loved Rocky Romero. Roppongi 3K was one of the things that got me into Japanese wrestling in the first place. So there's no greater thing than to talk about Rocky Romero. But Andre C has finally joined us. Andre C back from his excursion over there in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada.
My excursion to Casa Melball.
Good,
How,
good, good.
How did you leave Melball? Was she sober? Yes or no?
She was a drink in.
Oh,
With
okay.
her friend.
Only one
With her
admit-
friend.
that's fine.
I
Well,
also left very awkwardly listening to what they were talking about. So I'm
right,
not going to
anyway.
go into. I can't go
We're
into
not going to go into any more
detail.
specifics.
But yeah.
We have one match left to talk about on the pre-show because we skipped it because Lauren fell. Oh, sorry.
Oh, I was listening. Don't worry. But I need to wax philosophical about the opening match on the pre-show.
Oh,
Kyle
yeah.
motherfucking Fletcher. You eat,
He's your
you
boy.
eat for life.
He's your boy. I'm so glad he got a match.
That doesn't say. I'm so glad he got to be featured here, especially with the stuff on Wednesday with Ospreay, then Saturday with Ospreay. I'm glad he got to get a little feature match, and I love that kid. He is going to be a star for this company.
His lack of gay panic during that during the weigh-in, he just looked the man up and down and licked his fucking lips, nodded his head like, Jesus Christ, boy, are you?
Yep.
Excuse me. So I knew tonight was just going to be there for the girls and the gays.
Oh, and it was.
Yeah.
It started right here in this next match, much to the dismay of one of the participants. Mariah May, with Timeless Tony Storm and Luther, defeats Saraya in 8.5 minutes with Harley Cameron at ringside.
Yeah, I didn't want this to go by without you getting to talk about May.
I couldn't find it. I ran home looking for it. I had a Mariah May shirt somewhere in my room. Just couldn't find it. So
it was wonderful to see Mariah just let loose.
Oh.
She took off the limiters and went for it, and that was great. That was a treat.
Dude, she was so good, and I'm not the biggest Saraya fan, but she pulled out her greatest hits in this match, and she
was good enough.
She delivered for what she needed to do for this. And I thought she did great, but like Mariah looked like $1 million goddamn dollars or pounds or whatever, euros,
million
whatever it is.
Everything.
Yeah.
Give her all the money.
That's
her
nothing.
All the
$1 million is
fame.
nothing, dude. Come on.
And it was just there were shenanigans with Harley and Tony at the end. Tony, who came out in her pin curls. I was very impressed with the level of detail we're getting with the Tony stuff is just extraordinary. Thank you, Millie. Cool.
No, I think she's talking about Harley and Saraya, I believe.
Oh, okay.
But Millie can.
How can you not be a fan of Mariah?
Yeah,
I was gonna say I think she's a fan of Mariah, but she might not. To each their own.
I love seeing Harley get screen time. She's so funny now. Like now, again, they got her off her leash and let her go. It's a lot of fun. But man, I just couldn't look away. And Mariah. See, I find it funny when Mariah. The only thing that's very silly about Mariah doing Tony's stuff is the hip attack. Mariah's. I'm not sure you got a capacity for that big man. Yeah, I think it's funny. It's cute. And that's where you can see that she's definitely just playing the character.
SGG asks, SDG asks, but can Harley wrestle?
Yes.
The answer is yes. Harley is pretty good in the ring. She's still green. She's still learning. She's getting there. But she's not a liability in the ring. AEW Ring of Honor has they've started to stockpile a group of young ladies who need some work, who are a little bit green. This includes, Sky Blue, Red Velvet, Harley
and
Cameron.
Yeah.
But they're giving them the opportunity on television a lot of the time to have these matches, to get better in the ring, because they don't have house shows, because they don't have other opportunities to do it. They have to be able to do it on television, and they're giving them the opportunity. Red Velvet is on Ring of Honor in position to take on the television champion. She's getting that opportunity. Sky Blue is, I believe, injured at the moment, but she's had her run for the last little while. For the last couple pay-per-views, she was being booked in certain programs, if I remember correctly.
Oh yeah, 100%.
And Harley Cameron is obviously getting this featured spot next to Saraya, which is giving all eyes on her. I know she's had matches with her and Saraya versus Tony and Mariah in the past. I believe Mariah and Mina even tagged against them at one point on one of the shows. The pre-show here ends, it was a fantastic pre-show. It did exactly what it wanted to do. It convinced people that if you liked this stuff, you were going to like the show. It is now here where I'm going to give some brief thoughts that I have on the overview of the main card before I depart to go ahead and join the comment section and potentially my bed. Because it is 12:45 here on the East Coast, and I do work in the morning. Danielson versus Takagi was shorter than I thought, but was everything I wanted it to be. Timeless Tony Storm and Mina Shirakawa. I don't care how the match ended. Everything that happened post-match was perfection. And if you haven't seen, I've retweeted, I believe, a picture of my buddy Sean, who took a photo of Nigel during that moment after the match, and he's crying. So that was
beautiful.
Fantastic.
It was beautiful. It was a moment. That was a moment in queer television, but we'll get to it.
We will get to that. Andre does owe $5 to the two of us for incorrectly picking Dante Martin to win the tag team ladder match.
I want for him to donate my $250 Americans. That's about $325 Canadian
Somewhere
to the women's anti-violent charity of your choice.
Yeah,
done.
And you can donate the whole thing to that because
done. I'll chuck in a few more bucks for that.
Hey,
as Millie says, what happened after the match was a way to end Pride Month.
Yes, it was
a
beautiful moment. It's beautiful moment.
Also, I will say that the aftermath of the Mercedes versus Stephanie Vecchio match was perfection, and I cannot wait for that match at All In. That will be fantastic. And then the main event was exactly what it needed to be. It didn't need any real shenanigans. It just, as Nightmare Zello says here in the chat, all Ospreay needed to do was use the screwdriver and the Tiger Driver 91. I think it.
He could have, but they're still rolling with that. Who am I? That who am I going to be storyline. Mm-hmm. So, who am I going to be here? Am I going to have morals, or am I going to do what I'm being told? Doing what I'm being told might help me win. And so I'm very interested to see if we're going to get that kind of a. My reaction to
the end of the TBS match is clipped on X. And don't pop off like that.
Oh yeah.
I was there for that, and Mike lost his ever-loving mind. And again, y'all two will talk about that when you get there. Don't you worry.
Yes. Yes, I popped so hard. I'm going to
do a quick little plug here and just get my stuff out of the way. You can find me on Twitter at EdFries12584. You can find me on twitch.tv/EdFries2002. You can find me in Astrid tomorrow night and Tuesday night as we are double dipping with NXT as we have Talking Takeover tomorrow night. And we are talking all things Takeover Rival, which means we are talking the only time that the four horsewomen fought each other in a fatal four-way match for the NXT Women's Championship. Charlotte versus Becky versus Sasha versus Bayley. That match will be discussed tomorrow night. We're also going to discuss Kevin Owens versus Sami Zayn for the first time in WWE in NXT for the NXT Championship. Tuesday night, we're on the road to Heat Wave. We'll be having the go home show for Heat Wave. After that show, me and Ash will be there to talk all things Heat Wave. We are recording later on this week, which will be airing Saturday at some point, our preview show with Stephanie Hypes as we preview all things NXT Heat Wave. And then, of course, Sunday night after NXT Heat Wave is over, we'll be joined by the Angle Podcast's Joe Carney as we go ahead and talk all things NXT Heat Wave. And Andre will make a brief appearance to cry about the fact that Lola Vice is still not going to be the NXT Women's Champion. And he's going to have to talk about, hopefully, seeing the debut of Julia to put Roxanne Perez in her place.
I'm with Mike.
I don't even have the comments up. No! Fuck you, Mike. The last words of this stream, fuck you, Mike. Have a good night.
Goodbye, Ed. Make us a little bigger now. So we're getting to the main card.
Yes, here we go.
For this. It's MJF versus Hechicero in... This might have been one of the biggest reactions of the night of MJF walking out wearing, was it Islanders colors or was it Mets colors? Which would you rather say it is? It's the same
God,
color.
I don't remember. Mets colors. They're Mets colors.
Mets color, okay.
But yeah, and he had, as he always does for his New York shows, he had a new custom jacket, very cool. And oh no, it was just cool. It was a good time. Oh, it was a Highlanders thing? Okay.
They are the same colors, really? They're both blue and orange, just like the Oilers.
So.
But yeah, they
I might
both
be
copied
wrong.
the Oilers. So,
but you're right. He did have a hockey stick on it.
Yeah.
That's right. Right on his bum.
Man, the in-ring for this match was stellar.
So good. I honestly forget because he's so natural and because he's so charismatic that MJF can fucking go.
Mm-hmm.
And so when I see this and I saw Hechicero just get his ass whooped, it reminds me.
Yeah.
And that's a thing I need to occasionally remember.
Yeah, because watching Hechicero come out, I was like, oh, I feel for this dude. Because I've seen his work before this. I'm not a huge female guy, but I've seen his work. This dude is Mexico's answer to Zack Sabre Jr. This dude is such a technical masterpiece, and he showed it off. And MJF, dude, he stepped up to his technical level, and it was phenomenal.
Yes. And that's something that I think we missed and something I think we forgot because a lot of the things he did during his reign as champion were not technical. They were character work. And I felt like it had run its course. But now that I see him back, I don't like his new character at all, but he's a hoss. He can move. And so it's a lot of fun to watch him wrestle. I just don't like the character right now. So I'm glad because there was something there for me in that match, which was watching Hechicero get, the screen time, and they're doing the Venus Club dad. Oh, why am I not seeing that? Holy shit.
I got to go watch a press conference after this is over now. God
yeah, immediately. I'm sorry. We're going to have to watch the press conference immediately after this.
But back to MJF, yeah, getting someone that can both talk and go, yeah, it is kind of rare now. I think there's not a lot that can talk at his level and go at his level. I think there's a Cody in WWE.
There's Cody, there's Mox, there's
Swerve.
Swerve could be one step higher on the talking. He does so much better when he's with Hangman. It just makes everything that comes out of his mouth comes out right when it's with Hangman.
Ed's back.
Ed, why are you here?
I have found something that I think we're all going to want to enjoy.
Oh, did you record it?
No, but I have YouTube.
Oh, you're gonna play it. Oh God, I can't wait to watch this.
Why are you gonna play this right now? Okay,
Oh, dude, I
let's
have
see
to
it.
see this.
Oh my God.
Oh, Tony's just doing random shit. But Mariah actually knows how to do it, or Tony's just like, I'm just dancing.
Watching Mariah and Mina do it on was it Collision or was it
No, it was Collision.
was it
It was
Dynamite?
Collision from Saturday.
That was so cute.
Oh no, you're right. That's right. No, you're right. Dynamite.
I think it was Dynamite. It was so cute.
Yeah.
And so seeing Tony just like she got about half of it right.
Just starts turning in a circle doing this.
It was brilliant. It was brilliant. Yeah, watching Hechicero go was great fun. Everybody looked good. Mike is totally right about that.
Oh, 100%.
This was strong. It was technical, and I've enjoyed seeing Hechicero in AEW.
Yeah, I feel just getting to see a guy like that and getting to expose the world to how good to the other side of Lucha Libre. It's not all about the flippy fly stuff that you see at Lucha Bros and Mystico. There is some great technical side to this, to Lucha Libre. But we move on. It's the battle of the Scissor Races versus the Elites.
This was so fucking weird.
Dude. So as you guys are saying, as you were saying earlier, the anchor cuts a rap that was pretty good, and then he just starts saying bitch
He said bitch a lot.
Well, again, he was making fun of Okada, and I understood that. Me and my group, we were laughing watching it because it's just him just mocking Okada for everything he's saying, and it did work. The earlier rap was fine. The couple lines I got, everything else was like okay, and I'm like, oh, the Justin Timberlake thing's a couple weeks too late there, buddy. But like the making fun of Okada with all the bitch stuff was pretty good.
Yeah, exactly. When you pull it together, but I was really tired of hearing him say bitch.
Yeah,
I'm not tired of hearing Okada say bitch. No. But I was about to reach through this screen and slap Caster for saying it that often.
Yep.
Sorry, buddy. God, Bowens needs to just go and be a heel or go and do his own thing because fuck, he's 6.
I thought it made the rap better. I thought it made the rap better because I didn't really care much for the actual rap part. It was only when he started yelling bitch that I enjoyed it.
You just really, really you really think that that Okada's being done dirty, and I don't think so. I don't think he's being done dirty at all.
Oh, when Okada does get in the ring with people, like when he wrestled Pac, when he gets in the ring and actually does his thing, the dude shows why he is arguably the greatest generational talent, the greatest talent of this last generation to come out of Japan. He shows it every time he steps in that ring. And again, I don't disagree. He's probably having all the fun in the world yelling bitch at everybody. But as a diehard guy who watched this dude, but again, he's never been a heel before either. So I have to preface it by saying I prefer Okada as he's always been a good guy to me, or at least slightly tweener. I think as far as he ever got to being a bad guy in Japan. So it's going to take getting used to for me. But I don't think he's still, when he steps in the ring, this dude is the greatest wrestler of all time. And he shows it. And he showed it tonight. And I love the early stuff of him running away from Tanahashi. Every time Tanahashi would try to confront him, he would back out of the ring. And I love that because it's like, I'm not quite ready to put you down, old man. I'll come and put you down later. I'm just not ready to face you. And it was a simple kind of beautiful there.
I think people forget that the Bucks and Okada go back a long time. like an obscenely long time. I think the Bucks have known him longer than anybody else. I think they've known him longer than Kenny. They knew him longer than Hanger, but they all worked in, the same 3 or 4 places.
Well, they did TNA together way back when Okada was okay,
Exactly.
when he was
Yes, that's where
Okato,
they
and
met.
they were Generation Me. Yeah.
Mhm. That's right.
Yeah.
And so when you see this, it's like, okay, they're gonna have a good time. We're gonna have a good time. Let's roll. But I understand that, I absolutely 100% understand that, you see him as being sort of worth so much more, and probably you want to see him get that out before he has to go on the shelf.
Yeah. I agree. It's just I know I thought this match overall this match exceeded my expectations. Like this,
It
again,
did.
I
It
didn't
was
have a
actually really sick.
I didn't have a lot of faith for this match, and it delivered. And even I was sitting there with Mel and our friend Adam and Andreas, and Adam's an AEW fan, so is Andreas, but they don't know a lot of New Japan stuff. They watch some. Our friend Alyssa was there too. She never watched New Japan before, so and everybody, even there was points where we were just like, oh come on, and I'm like the goddamn young cucks is what I'm calling them through the match, right? Because again they piss me off, but they're doing their job though. They're supposed to
Yes.
piss me off.
They
I give
shit
them credit.
heels. I
Yeah.
was laughing the entire time during the promo. I was laughing looking at the branded coats, which is, of course, a direct poke at something else. And it was just so funny and so brilliant. I don't know, man. Just they're fun for me to watch because I love a smarmy heel. Like I really love a good smarmy heel. But again, it was Okada who brought them to victory.
Yep.
And he's getting win and win and win and win and win. And so we're going to eventually, of course, get him looking right with that championship belt.
Yeah, and
Like he has a belt right now, and that's great, but he's gonna have that big championship.
well,
Don't you worry.
after later tonight, man, the Elite's rolling. They're rolling, man. They're rolling for it. But I just love the ending where it's him and Tanahashi, the eternal enemies facing off, and just hit Tana going for that sling blade, and Okada drop kicking the hell out of his face, follows it up with a beautiful rainmaker, and just finishes
And
it.
then
Just
another. It was like he had to hit it twice.
mhm.
And it was so good. I know this wasn't necessarily a big deal, but like on the Bucks vests or on one of the Bucks vests, I think it was Matt. His epaulette colors, like because there were no epaulets, but where the epaulette is,
Mhm.
were the pansexual colors
Aw, that's
on the
nice.
last day of Pride. I was like, whether they meant it or not, it feels very good.
Oh
Good
yeah.
job, boys. We give you the F word pass for that one very awkward moment that I swear Matt looked like he was like so unhappy saying the F word. But yeah, I'll give him that pass. The one time we have forgiven him once. He doesn't get to
Once.
ever do it.
Yeah. But
Give him
again,
one.
this match exceeded my expectations. I thought Tanahashi, for as knobbly kneed as he is, as bad as those
He was
knees are,
so good. He fucking rocked.
when
It
he
was
first
great
walked out,
seeing
though,
him.
I was afraid because when you first see him come out the tunnel, you're like, oh, he's pulling, like you can see him walking gingerly. But the dude, man, when he gets in that ring, he turns it on, man.
Yes.
There's a reason he's been working 6-mans for the last long while.
And I think we got just a fantastic performance out of him.
Mhm.
I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it as much as watching him live. It was so cool to see him. It's always fun. But
You seen him
yeah,
live?
yeah, he was at
Oh,
Capital Collision.
oh,
Um,
yeah. If you went to that.
He's at, I think he's at every Capital Collision, but
Probably.
he was in a 4-way with Mox and Willie and whoever was the thing. Was it Juice? I want to say Juice was holding the belt that they were fighting for, and I can't remember what belt it was. Anyway, it was great. It was great seeing him. He's got such an aura. He's got such a sick aura.
It's Juice versus Tana versus Will versus John for that United States title. That Hiroshi Tanahashi was the champion, and Juice won that match.
Thank you for the bits and pieces that I was missing. I was close.
Oh, you had all the people. It just yeah. We could have yeah. That was a pretty stellar match actually.
It was a very good match. I had a good time watching that. Were you there or did you watch the pay-per-view?
Pay-per-view again. I so badly want to see a Japanese wrestling show live, but I just well, someday hopefully.
The vibe is 100% different than any other country's matches. It is a very subdued crowd. You don't really stand. You don't get within 3 feet of the barricade. It's very, very odd. And the seats, even in America, are super tiny. Like, I'm not a huge girl. My girlfriend's not a huge girl. And we were very uncomfortable. But beyond that, it was excellent. It was a great, just great fun time. There's a classic picture just that I'm so proud of that I took of Ishii and Kingston squaring off. Beautiful, beautiful moment. I had it from the perfect angle. Which means everybody in my section saw it from that perfect angle. And it was really good. It was really good to get to see everybody live. You'll enjoy it. You'll enjoy it for real.
Someday. Talking about enjoying something.
Oh my God.
This delivered.
This match was so fucking sick.
They did everything I want them to do and more.
Yeah.
And it was perfect flow between the two of them. Remember at one point he hits Made in Japan and Mel's like, oh, she's popping. She's like, he's winning it. And then Brian kicks out and she's like, what? And I'm like, that was Made in Japan, not Last of the Dragon. And she's like, oh, yes. Damn
it. It was, rather than paying attention to my notes, because I have some notes about all of these. I don't have notes about this other than Danielson has to stop faking seizures. I couldn't look away at all. This match was, I will say this a few times because about a third of these matches were for the goddamn sickos. This people can talk shit on Forbidden Door this year. I'm not going to listen to them.
Nope.
This was what we were told to expect and a little bit more.
It just, the technical prowess of both these guys and just like the crashing and burning that Brian did at multiple points in this match, going for his big moves and missing, and it created this beauty. And the Takagi hit that pumping bomber. I was like, yes, he's gonna do it. And then it ends with, and I love that it ended non-traditionally.
Yeah, it ended with a verbal tap as opposed to a tap, because we never see verbal taps. But obviously with technical wrestling, we see a lot of physical taps. This was cool and different. I thought it was very nice.
Like, I did want to see Takagi go on in the tournament and lose to Pac on Wednesday, but again, I realized I think he's working the undercard of the show on Wednesday in Japan, so
I wouldn't be shocked.
And Mike is right. We did see 2 verbal taps tonight. We did see two. Because we'll talk about the other.
Oh,
Yeah.
right. Yes. Yes.
But
Sorry
again,
for missing that.
taking something like that and doing it and not making it too odd to have it done twice a night is absolutely awesome, though.
Yeah, and it could have been.
Yeah.
It could have come out very strangely. It could have been wrong, and it was.
Yeah. I think the flow. This is the last time they faced was in the summer of 2010 when Brian had gotten released, and Brian went to Dragon Gate to work Shingo Takagi in 2010.
It's gonna be so sick. It
So
was
14,
just.
yeah, 14 years later, these two come back with both men working very differently than they worked in 2010, and just to see them have such great flow together, and there is a language barrier because I don't know if Brian's that fluent in Japanese, and I don't know
No.
if Takagi's that fluent in English. I know he can speak English, so he has enough English, but still, and just watch these two do what they did in pretty much utter precision in that ring was just everything I wanted and more. And I just
Yeah,
noticed
and
what
it
your shirt is,
shows.
and I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, Spoondocks all the way.
I am the stone that the builder refused. So yes, just they're so good. I don't
Ugh.
just want to keep saying it, but they're just so good. It's
Again,
upsetting how good they are. And I think it's going to be very interesting if we see a belt on Brian before he runs off.
again, it's very possible, but I think that we all know where that tournament's going.
Yes, yes.
with Mr.
We know where that
Wildcard.
tournament is headed.
But yeah, I was just so happy to see this, and I've wanted Brian to go work at G1 for so long, and I don't think we're ever going to get it now, especially with him Bakuya. He's not going to go to Japan for 5 weeks to wrestle in the G1.
Yeah, no.
But
I'm
by
not sure he
God,
could do it, to be fair. I'm not sure he
honestly,
could safely do it.
I think he should do a New Japan Cup because then he only has to wrestle like 4 matches if he
That
goes
would
all
be
the way to the
so
finals.
nice.
Yeah.
I would love for him to do that. I just want to see. I just really want to see Bryan Danielson hang out there.
Yeah.
And make some dreams come true. But oh yeah, for real.
Mm-hmm.
This is really cool. I really enjoyed this new Boondocks collection. It's just good, comfortable clothing, and I like it. There's a lot of embroidery, and I do hand embroidery, so seeing, one of my favorite characters in the world done an embroidery on my shirt with chenille for the hair, it's perfect. It's just really nice. It's good, timeless black art, and I fucking love that.
Speaking of timeless.
Oh yes, the fourth match on the card was Toni Storm versus Mina Shirakawa for the AEW Women's World Champion. And just Mariah was heartbroken the entire time. Poor puppy-faced sweetheart. All I wanted to do was take her to my bosom. She was great.
Even before the match, they started when she gave them both flowers, and they're like, "You come to me." Yeah, thank you.
The Mina's new coat, super cute. A
Mhm.
little pared down for the more simplistic American shows. It didn't have to be big and crazy anymore because people are already paying attention to Mina.
Mm-hmm.
So she doesn't need the huge flags. Everybody is already paying attention when she's in the harbor. And again, I couldn't look away. I loved Tony's Ellis Island tribute.
Oh yeah.
I loved just everything about it. I just didn't want to look away. It was compelling. It was well fought. And the ending was everything my little heart could have ever wanted. My little women-loving women heart. My polyamorous heart. Mariah got her darling petit coterie. She got her little poly cute. And she got her 3-way kiss. And they all walked off into the sunset in the digital exclusive with Mariah's hand on their bums.
I saw that. I was like,
She is
nice.
she is all of us. I'm so proud of this storyline. Happy Pride. I had a great time at least seeing a little bit of representation, and it's representation from by women making bisexual products, because we know that Tony is married to Juice Robinson. We know that Mina is very possibly not bi. And so seeing Mariah and Tony and Mina put together a really well written, really well choreographed, multi-match story and have it come out with the positive. At least for a few weeks. Give her poly cute for at least a few weeks.
Yeah, I think the story was so well told here. And like, again, we don't like, I know Mariah's got a boyfriend. She again, it's on her social. You see him on her socials and everything. But again,
But yeah, she has come out as bi, and
Oh, yeah.
Tony is also, openly bisexual. I don't know if Mina is. It
Her
seems like she's having fun with her girls.
Yeah. Again, you'll find that with a lot of the Japanese women, you really don't know much about their personal lives.
Yeah.
Again, it's part of that idol culture that
It's idol
is very
culture.
persistent in Joshi wrestling. That you kind of keep your personal life hidden in that sense. But again, just a beautifully told story, and the match itself was just so well done. And there's so many. I was under so many host spots when Mina would hit something big, and I was like, yes, 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 yes. Oh, god damn
Yes.
it.
Yeah, it was crazy. Their gear was gorgeous. Their moves were perfect and on point. It was like watching two people make a symphony together. It really came together beautifully. Hey, remember when Tony casually came out in an NXT backstage thing? Good times. Yes, I do. Not because I was watching, but because I am a gay rights advocate and have been since I was 17.
There we go.
So yeah, I try and keep up, and upon occasion we'll look at a set of competitors and go, those two have explored each other's bodies, which we will get back to when we talk about Will Ospreay and Swerve Strickland. But honestly, what we saw with the World Championship match for the women was 10 out of fucking 10.
It's just absolute perfection from top to bottom in this. The story,
7
everything.
stars, 8 if it had been in the Tokyo Dome.
I'll say this: that's probably one of the most revealing bottom parts of Mina's gear. That thing she's ever worn. Like Mel,
I was shocked. I was like,
yeah.
That's cheeky. I didn't know she was cheeked up. I was very impressed. Good job.
And that wasn't even the most revealing cheeky gear on the show tonight, which we'll talk. Which I have to mention.
No, it was not.
Yeah. So we move on to, again, another technical match. Like you talk about Hichisero and MJF having such a great technical match, and then Brian and Shingo having this just so well put together match, and then these two, Orange Cassidy, you're showing I can roll with Zack Sabre Jr. I can go with him. I can keep up with the technical master, and he did, because Cassidy had him in so many tight places. He got him into submissions. He had him in the with that the seatbelt pin or whatever it's called.
Yes,
his
seatbelt. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, dude, just so many good spots that you're literally thinking Zack Sabre Jr. is in so much trouble here. But
Yes.
I think when he started putting that final, when Sabre started putting that final submission, and I'm like, is he going orienteering with Napalm Death? But it wasn't quite orienteering with Napalm Death. But holy shit, when he got him every limb tied up, and you just see Orange just start yelling, and the ref just swings through that bell, it was just like, just pure release. I was so happy for Sabre because like remember the first Forbidden Door, it was supposed to be Brian. He got Claudio and got his bell just beat, and Claudio beat him there. He lost the 4-way last year to Orange Cassidy. Like, he didn't get pinned, but he lost that 4-way last year. And to come back, beat Orange, finally get a win. This is his first win, his first singles win on AEW territory.
It is, in fact. He hasn't
Yeah.
had a lot of matches with them though, and he didn't come as like the top of the card.
Well,
He came like at the A- card.
okay, sorry.
And
Right, he did beat Fletcher on Collision. I apologize. But
yeah.
for like the high profile ones, like not to say Kyle Fletcher wasn't high profile, but Wrestle Dream he lost. Forbidden Door the last 2 years he has lost. Other than like the Kyle O'Reilly singles win and then the tag wins he's gotten on TV leading up to a lot of these shows he's been part of, he has he finally got that big win in AEW.
Yeah.
So I apologize.
This is another one, and I'm gonna go off track here. This is another one where these two have explored each other's bodies. Have you seen them just kind of like roll around and be silly, like off camera and do stuff? There is an adorable thing from a signing, adorable video from a signing, where it's just them rolling around and being silly. Just behind one of the signing tables, and it's just, you add it to the fact that ZSJ has been in DDT recently kissing on boys, so it's like, okay, this was their marriage finally, and Orange gave up. Orange tapped, and ZSJ has his husband forever. But no, seriously, it was an amazing match, and Orange showed yet again what a hoss he is.
Yeah, I just to watch these two, and again, like I made my turn to start liking Orange Cassidy 2 years ago at Forbidden Door when he faced Will Ospreay, because I was very much in those first 3 years of AEW. I just looked at him as like a joke, and getting mad at him beating higher end people. It's when
And
he
then
turned up.
then it eventually clicked, right?
It's when he turned up in how good he did in his loss to Will Ospreay for that United States side. I'm like, he's wrestling this, and
really, that's the first time that it really sunk in with you.
That's when that is when I went, okay, this guy isn't a complete joke. Because even the Jericho stuff, he was still so goddamn goofy.
Yes, but the stuff with Jericho was like the first 6 months or the first year.
Yeah, but he never captured me until then. And that's also when the company started booking him in a more serious role too. Around that time, this is when they took him and put him in, like made him, and a year later he went he went into that international title a year later, having had that insanely good run over that last year to win that title. So Ospreay to me was the start of Orange going from joking funny guy to serious, I can do this while still having a bit of funniness to me.
Watching him be slowly and systematically made to be sad has been surprisingly fun.
And I think that almost has made his character that much more appealing, because it's not just a guy that doesn't care. It's a guy that's I'm dealing with shit. I'm dealing with so much, and especially the last couple months of losing his friends. It's been this weird, beautiful arc of that I do have friends and finding new friends. And it's just,
Very interesting that we had two very, very complex mental health, like men's depression things in the past at least week. Is we've seen Orange just take that spiral, and we also have seen in the promo during Collision that Hangman is drinking again. His family moved out and he is drinking. He's wearing the depression shirt again.
but that Mike puts my comment. Every time he would put the hands in his tights, Cassidy would catch him. Like Cassidy caught him every time. Yeah, it's just
These
Yeah.
two were awesome together. Yes, stop breaking this man. Thank you. Millie understands what's going on here. She understands the heart of a sicko.
Mhm.
She gets it. They're booking for her too. Good job, Millie. I love you. Fuck it. Let's go.
Yeah, but again, a technical masterpiece that I just I can never doubt Orange Cassidy ever again in how good this man can do.
Good. He's
Well,
another person I've seen live, and he's just great.
I watched him live in Edmonton in May when he fought
he
Trent Beretta in
good?
the first match with Trent was in Edmonton, and it was phenomenal.
He's so good. He's just
Yep.
sickeningly good. And to think that he was an architect 5 years ago. Like he had just been part-time on the indies and then he went full time. And I think he's earned his flowers. So I'm very glad you're feeling like he deserves them.
He was once a fire ant. In
He
Chicago.
was?
He was
That's
fire
right. That's right. I've seen pictures. I had forgotten entirely.
Yep, he was fire ant.
God.
OC
Absolutely
is
brilliant. Yeah, OC is insane. OC's a hoss, and most people didn't get that, but OC is a fucking hoss.
Then this happened. Jericho showed up, and I just
ZSJ says, our localist ZSJ says in a post show, anyone who disregards OC as a wrestler is a dumb motherfucker, I would wager. Fucking idiot. Okay. It's fucking idiot. I thought it would be dumb motherfucker, but okay. Because I'm looking on my Twitch thing. I'm watching the chat, and it was
if you go on the right side and hit the one that says comments, you can actually see the comments in the room we're in.
Yeah.
But you can actually see it in our room. If you hit where the little bubbles is comments, it'll pop out all the comments.
Oh, thank God. Okay, and so that's both sets.
That's all. That's everything that comes in from YouTube and everything. YouTube,
and
Twitch,
that's
anything.
YouTube, and that's Twitch's stuff. Yeah, because there it is. Okay, cool. Now I can just close all that up and yes. Cool. Okay.
Yeah, but and then you went from such great things to
such mediocre things. This was which sucks because Samoa Joe was great in it. When Samoa Joe and Jeff Cobb go, they go. It's like watching Godzilla versus Mechagodzilla. I loved it.
Shibata versus Cobb in this. Shibata and Cobb facing off in this was tremendous. Hook and Cobb facing off in this was tremendous.
Yeah, Cobb carried. Well, Big Bill is fun to watch.
I think Big Bill did phenomenal in here.
Yeah. He is really growing. He's grown so much in the past several years. Once he left WWE, he got off the sauce, and not the sauce, but the sauce. And I feel like he has grown immensely. I saw him 5 years ago in a live show, and watching him now is like watching a different guy. And he was fresh off the sauce back then. And now to see him having grown so much is amazing. But
And
man,
a side note though to his old tag team partner, who recently just worked a show in Calgary, did an interview with Mike McGuire from McGuire on Wrestling. Great interview he did with him, and like he talks with Enzo, a real one, whatever you want to call him. Dude has really done a lot of work on himself to really change, and he's trying to change the perception of what he had become in WWE to what he is now. And I give all the respect to Enzo for trying to change who he was and what he was doing, and just trying to be a better person in general. I'll give him that respect. So. Yeah.
that's fair. That's super duper fair. But
Yeah.
when people in AEW occasionally will chant, "We want Enzo," I am one of the people who is loudly chanting, "No, we don't."
It's as much as the man is doing the best thing. I just don't. His
He
character,
wouldn't fit. He wouldn't fit. Not even in ROH.
his character worked in a certain time. It doesn't work to me anymore. It's
Yes.
just not. It's not what I want to see personally.
Yeah,
So.
I agree 100%. Millie says,
Sorry,
just
gotta pull up
why
here.
leave Jerko out of the rest don't deserve it. I believe that. I believe that 100%. And I don't
The
know,
finish of this
man.
match was absolutely perfect. Of Hook hitting
Yes.
that spinning back elbow to Jericho and pinning him, just being like that big, like a few, and then the camera showing Taz just standing up and just clapping
The
for his son.
cinematography of this match elevated it greatly.
Mhm.
I think we
Yeah.
got to see the things that truly were important, and that didn't include much of Jericho except him getting his block knocked off with the Judas effect.
Yeah, it's like I was watching Cobb in here, and he hits that, like hitting the spin cycle, hitting just this dude is just a beast, and I'm so can't wait for the G1 in a few weeks because
Yeah,
I
yeah.
just love watching that man wrestle. He is so utterly great. So good. I cannot wait. But yeah, we're gonna move off this. Hook, pin, Jericho. Learning Tree might have lost a branch or two. We don't know.
And the next match was the ladder match for TNT Championship with
Oh,
Nosuke Takeshita, Mark Briscoe, Jack Perry, Dante Martin, Leo Rush, and Phantasmo.
or as he's known
Seeing
to,
ELP here is always a treat.
as he's known to my tag team partner Mel Ball, Hot Asian.
Hot
She says
Asian.
every time Konosuke Takeshita, because she has such an issue saying his name.
Konosuke Takeshita, it's not hard.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's super crazy hot, and yeah, I could just look at him, and he's been in DDT recently too. So you have the nasty content you're looking for. Well, I get the sicko wrestling. Leo did a
Problem with-
great job.
Say,
Are you
problem with
sure
this
that
comment-
wasn't Wish Logan Paul? He did. I thought it was Logan Paul, to be fair, for a moment there. And then I was like, oh yeah, never mind, it's ELP.
I get Adam sitting there watching. He's like, that guy looks like he literally goes, that guy looks like a Wish.com Logan. He said that same goddamn statement or to that. Like, I don't know if he said Wish, but he said one of those like companies
like
you can buy
Temu or
Temu or something.
Yeah, something like that.
I was like, are you crazy? This man is better than Logan Paul could ever be.
Oh, certainly. I thought Leo Rush did very well for himself in a group of extremely strong performers, and I never thought I would say this. I would not mind seeing more of him. I would like to see him be with Mogul Embassy if they put those buddies together again. That'd be really great.
I got to meet him a month and a half or 2 months ago when he was here for RCW Wrestling on a weekend tour.
I heard he had some serious character growth over the past few years.
He is such a nice dude. Like, we talked to him on 2 occasions. We went to the meet and greet before the show and met him. Got our pictures with him. I got an autograph. Just so personal, easy to talk to. We're just chatting, and then post show, we were on our way out, and we stopped by to talk. He was back at his table, and we just stopped and talked to him for a good another 5 minutes, just talking to him how big of a fans we were for him for New Japan and everything. Just so Millie's right. This man has grown leaps and bounds since when he was last in AEW a couple of years back. Like, the dude has evolved, and I think he's figured out.
NJPW did so much for him.
And just working indies and doing everything he's done.
And
the guy is in everything. He does music. He's pretty decent at doing his finances, man. That's not a gimmick. That shit's for real. And just I think just such a sweetheart of a dude that's just willing to just talk to two people. That Mel is wearing a Bullet Club hoodie, and he's like, "I'll forgive you for wearing that."
He really does seem. Millie's not. I mean, I've said it already once, and I'll say it again. That growth is for real, man. Growth is hard, especially when you are known for kind of being a blowhard in real life, someone who, wants to get his way and wants to sort of show up and show off as opposed to show up and show out. And that really has changed. I think that AEW is beginning to use him in a way that shows how much that has changed. And, it's like, when did they bring Jack Perry in? After he'd had a run in New Japan and he got good. He got good. He worked on his character. He worked on his speaking, and he came back ready. And I think that's what we're seeing with Lio Rush. I would have loved to see Mark Briscoe win this. And I knew it was always going to be scapegoat Jack Perry, but I really wanted Mark to win. He's been doing some great character work lately.
Should have been Dante Martin. But that's I think it would have almost been poetic justice for Dante Martin to come back and win this ladder match about a year after breaking his leg. That would have been almost poetic justice for this man to win a ladder match.
Yeah, this match in particular, absolutely.
But this was just pure insanity. People going through ladders. There's that Blue Thunder bomb by Takeshita. I can't remember. I think it was the ELP off the apron through the two tables.
Yes.
They exploded.
Absolutely psychotic match. I was having trouble keeping up because I was trying to type. My notes just don't exist. They're like one word here, one word there. It's like looking at someone who can't process stuff. There is just too much to process, and it was good. I enjoyed it so much.
There was a spot where I thought Dante Martin broke his leg again.
Yes,
he was like grabbing at his leg, and I'm like, no, not again,
not again. We finally got you back. You got the nastiest break. I saw pictures. So no, seeing him back made me happy. I would have loved for him to win too.
I was so against Millie since I was against Leo for so long, but for so much. But when you can truly feel how much he's changed, there is no denying it and wanting to support him again. And
yes,
I think
100%.
I think the best thing Tony did, he's not on a contract. He's on a per appearance. He's being paid every time he shows up at the building. Like, as of Fightful and Meltzer and other reporters.
So it's a handshake deal.
Yeah, he's on a deal of like, you pay me when I'll pay you when you come in to work for me, kind of deal. He's not on which I think is again another point of prove to me that you can be it's a prove to me. I feel it's a prove to me you can play well with a team, and then I'll sign you. But like, you need to show it to me. You're great in New Japan, but you need to show it. You mean you can play good with people here, which I perfectly understand that too. If that is the case. So
I'm yes, that is the smartest move he has made with Rush. Don't give him sitting money, give him working money. Shivers at the thought of, Millie's not wrong. Millie has been just hitting it out the park tonight with them
Mm.
opinions. Yeah, I didn't want Rush at all there, and he was just fantastic. And yeah, the idea of Dante getting hurt again is just because it was his brother who got hurt first, because I think
Yep.
they went like 1, 2, 3,
Well,
or yeah.
Darius got hurt, then came back, then got hurt again, then came back. They did the ladder match when they were just
Right.
got back together in
And
that
Dante
early
got
tag team
hurt.
title match, and then Dante breaks his leg, and he came back in like 4 or 5 months, which is crazy. When he showed up back on TV like 4 or 5 months later, I was like, really already?
These guys are children. They're still capable of growing bone matter that we are not.
True, it's true.
We are past it. We are in our edge years.
Oh, my back. Oh, my
Yep.
back. Oh,
Yep. I'm not looking forward to getting up out of this armchair right now.
getting up off of Mel's couch after tonight just took
that
took
had to
enough
be
effort.
rough. That was
I gotta go to the
5.5
gym.
hours of like becoming one with the couch.
Well, I moved around to a couple different places throughout the night to keep myself moving, but
Yeah.
yeah. But again, awesome match. Jack Perry doing what we all expected, and I think it's the best story we could tell. I think the only other person that truly had a shot at this was Takeshita, but the fact that he's going to be heading to Japan for 5 weeks pretty much, I think, knocked him out of contention. Yeah.
And we got a really good match out of it. I was very, very happy that we got what we got. And it was, I don't know, I feel like it was the best ladder match we've had for a while, especially one that was so packed.
100%. So we move on. Only 3 matches to go. Mercedes Moné versus Stephanie Vecchia. Title for title. TBS title versus New Japan Strong title. And man, and this is the one where, holy crap, this is very cheeky. It was a very cheeky match for Stephanie Vecchia.
Cheeky. That's one way to say it. She's just everything. She is everything. She is the full package.
Oh, I was talking about her gear. I was talking about her gear.
Yes, so was I. I was trying not to be like horny on Maine. But I mean, I would be horny on Maine for Vecchia. She was amazing. She was just everything ever. She hit a dragon screw on Mercedes that I thought had done real ass damage. Just beautiful, beautiful work. Then again, Mercedes sells so well.
I was thinking the same thing with when Orange did that first dragon screw at Zack Sabre Jr. I'm like, did he break his goddamn ankle? Like, I was
did
so
he fuck
scared.
him up for real? Not this early in the show.
And then Vecchia does it. I'm like, oh shit! Especially the one out of the when she had her in the corner and she pulled the leg out, and then hit her with it. And Mercedes' knee is still, her other leg is still caught in the rope. And she like ends up upside down. Oh, fudge! That was bad. Oh,
beautiful to watch. Beautiful, just vicious.
Mike has it right. Mercedes was pushed in this match to a level she hasn't seen since leaving the Fed, and that is so true.
I do not agree with that because I remember her New Japan Stardom stuff, and that was fucking sick.
Couple of them were good. The first, yeah, she had some really good stuff, but I think Vecchia just gave. I love some of those matches.
Millie's not wrong. Millie's not wrong. Yes. Okay. So, do you want to know a couple of things? Do you want me to put you up on this game? Okay. So, in the Tanahashi match, I believe yesterday I said that was going to be the chestiest match of the night, and that was saying something on a show where Mina Shirakawa was on, and I was wrong. I was wrong because the Bucks didn't take their vests off. Like if we had shirtless Matt, shirtless Okada and shirtless Tanahashi, we would
And
have
shirtless
had
Owens.
the magical three of like of the chestiest men in just like if you fall forward, fall with your hands like this. Just do it. Do it for me. Do it for all of us. So no, I was surprised that the Tony and Mina match really did end up being the chestiest match on the card, because I don't count Soraya's chest, and I'm not sure why. It just doesn't
Okay, so
work on me.
I'll
Anyway,
give it to you on the point you're saying this wasn't Mercedes' best. I think okay, her best was her versus Kyrie for the IWGP
yes,
Women's title.
thank you,
Yeah,
thank
I would
you.
give that.
That
Yeah.
was the best.
Okay, but since then, this has been her. Like she's had great matches since then, but I think this was the best match since that match, since her
Yeah,
return match. That was her
and Mike
return
is
match
right.
to wrestling.
Mike
Yeah.
is 100% correct. She looked invincible in those matches, and she looked like she was fighting for her life tonight. It was very nice. It's always good to see her scrap. And the last time DMD was in, and she's back, by the way, at the end, right after Mercedes won,
Mm-mm.
DMD Britt Baker decided to show off her cool outfit and her
Oh,
her
Mel was
extraordinary
pissed.
routine.
Mel was pissed because she came out and she just came out, did her thing, and then went back. And I was like, God damn, she's getting mad. She didn't come out and do anything. She was so pissed. But Mel's not a fan of Britt Baker either, but
Oh,
she wanted her to come out and show that she could do something. Because I'm like, I'm sitting here going, is this Adam Cole coming back way before he's actually cleared? Is what I was thinking in my head.
yeah. Mike says, Millie says, I'm sorry, I should shut up now and stop diverting, but this is
No,
fun. No,
no,
never
keep
stop.
talking. We
Are
want
you
more.
kidding? I can
We
keep
want
talking
more.
about nastiness. I can keep getting nasty girl up in this shit. I can have girly discussions right here, right now. Like, let's have a little discussion about Willie Goat showing up to the weigh-in in what he showed up in.
Just goes down to his
Thank
underwear.
you. We give you our salute, and
Just makes you jealous of Alex Windsor. Saying you,
oh,
not me, but you. Yeah.
if I had a cock, that would not be a terrible like shape and size. We now know his religion. I mean, there was detail. That's detail, but we'll discuss all of that later, and we'll discuss we'll discuss that later. My blood pressure, says Mike the ref, still hasn't calmed down since DMD returned. I was really excited to see her. I popped big time.
Me
I
too.
popped big for that.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Dude, when I heard her music and then we're all just like, I'm like, it's Britt Baker.
Yeah, I
And then
freaked out.
before
I
they
freaked
showed her,
out.
I'm like, and then Mel just went, because she doesn't like her.
I loved
Oh,
it. I
I
loved it.
popped for that. I popped for her showing up so well. I'm like, oh yes, please more, bring her back. I'm so happy for that. And I don't feel like they're gonna touch until All In.
I think you're not wrong. I think you're not wrong in the slightest, and I'm so excited for it. I think their styles will work very well together. They both use belly to back submissions as their main submissions. I'm really excited to see how their movesets work together. I don't know. I just think it's really cool. And riding on that high, we had the announcement after that of Wrestle Dynasty, which will be it looks like it is a sister show to Wrestle Kingdom and will also be in the Dome.
Yeah,
so
essentially they're doing a 2-night Dome event. Like Kingdom on night 1, Dynasty on night 2.
I like it.
I'm down.
I like it.
Well, I think it was them, CMLL, New Japan, CMLL, AEW, ROH, and Stardom. All 5 brands announced for that show.
As they sit here and just make flappy hands, forgive me.
And you never know of the possibility of maybe a Noah show up or somebody from Noah or
DDT. Although DDT is like any of those, it's you're more likely to get DDT than any of the other groups.
Well,
Dragon Gate, you could get. I'd love to see some of the girls from Choco Pro.
Mike is right. Dome shows can go for 10 hours.
Yes, I'm about it, if only because I like getting more content for my money. I don't mind a 10-hour show. I will watch it in 2 parts if I have to.
Especially if I'm only paying $15.
Give me the most you can give me for $50.
No, it's only 15.
Oh, it's only
for you. For you, it's $10 because it's $10.
No, those aren't free for us. Those aren't free on NJPW World. You have to get them separately.
Wrestle Kingdom's free.
No, it wasn't last year.
I watched it. I turned on my thing and watched it live at 1 a.m. No, the only ones I've had to pay extra for this year were the All Togethers and the Desperado event.
How was the Despy event, by the way?
I've only watched about 2 or 3 of those matches, and they're very, very good. Don't get me wrong, but I heard
it was real fucking gay.
Sure.
As someone who is also real fucking gay, I appreciate.
Yeah, but
okay, let me sit up because Millie's coming up. Okay.
I'm not big on Britt and Mercedes as characters. Wasn't big on Sasha Banks either, but also that's still going to be a fire match. Who's the face though? It does just possibly mean Jamie is finally getting ready to come back.
Britt is the face. Britt left a face, and she will probably continue a face.
Oh,
well,
if we're lucky, reaction.
If we're lucky, I think Mike's correct.
They were booing the shit out of her.
Yes.
Oh.
I really think sometimes with her, when we see a positive crowd reaction to the women she's against, even if, Vicaire is fantastic. So I'm not speaking on that, but I'm talking about the other people who she's done speaking stuff with and that kind of thing. Oh yeah, that was obnoxious as hell. The Let's Go Red Sox, Let's Go Celtics. That was fucking annoying. Because the match itself deserved more attention than the meme. But where was I going with that? Damn it, Mike the ref. Right. You wonder if they're cheering for her opponent just because they hate her so much. Megan Thee Stallion once said, are they supporting you or really just attacking me? And that's kind of what it feels like with her opponents and the people that she has to speak with in the ring. It feels almost like they wouldn't care who it is as long as it's not her getting good attention.
And I'll give them this. They did a very good job of building Vicaire up in lots of great video packages and having her do that match, having her do the match, but they actually did video explaining who this woman is. That is what I've wanted from so many people that have come in. They did it with Mina about a month after she showed up. They did it at least, but
I think giving in to the people who need a promo and need to have it hand fed and all of that just wasn't something they had to do. It's in my opinion something they never have to do. And while I'm glad they're doing it because it's for the casuals, the sickos don't really care.
But I'll this. I have multiple friends who are casual fans. They don't know anything about New Japan, and I've had it from my buddy Adam Blank. He said if he has mentioned in the past, like if they just would have given him a 30-second video just to explain who somebody is, it at least tells him how to get invested. Because if Jay White shows up,
they do explain it. Excalibur explains every single time. The people who are complaining are not listening or paying attention. It is given to you already. If you want more, you got to go find it. Doing a 30-second promo is good, and they should do them. But doing a WWE style promo that's longer than that, you have to be really charismatic and you have to be really worth it. And I think that Vicaire showed she was worth it now. Mm-hmm. I don't think we knew enough about her before to what does that say? Casuals don't want to watch a 2-minute explanation during a match. They want a 30-second clip. Yes. And I mean, like I said, good for them. It didn't do anything for me.
But you got to remember, you and me are in the vacuum. We are the hardcore of the hardcore. Yes, we are the sickos.
Yes.
Not everybody watching are the sickos. So but again, if you have listened to anything Tony Gunn said, he says he books for sickos, and that's why we don't get videos. He's the only books for the sickos. And I don't blame him.
Now we do get the videos on Twitter. Every single day, there is more promo content on Twitter on AEW.
But again, it's the sickos watching that, though.
It's
the sickos watching that. It's the sickos that go on Twitter and watch all that content, though.
Yeah, but it's there. They are making it. They are there. But I mean, to our credit, we do go looking. But I think that I don't know, man. I don't know. I think there's got to be a middle ground.
Hopefully.
There's just got to be a middle ground. I think 30 seconds is a good middle ground. I think a 2-minute package for someone we've never seen is a bit much. But Mike's right. 30 seconds
is all I ever want to see. 30 seconds is all, and I understand Excalibur, well, this person's debuting is explaining who they are, but when you're watching what is happening on the screen, sometimes when Excalibur's trying to explain who they are, it can get lost in what you're watching too, where you just get 30 seconds of why this person should mean something. So like, Adam could give a shit. My buddy Adam could give a shit less who Okada was when Okada showed up, because they just went, "That's the greatest champion in New Japan history." But he doesn't watch New Japan. He doesn't care about New Japan. Yeah, it's also true. 30 seconds is usually our max.
You know what? 30 seconds is an age and a half. Good job on your 30 seconds. As long as you've got the other skills to go the next 40 minutes doing something else, good job.
Oh, I'm the other way. I spend 45 minutes first and then finish off my 30 seconds,
I feel you. Good job. Why am I having this discussion with you? I am not on the clock.
Moving on, IWGP World Heavyweight Championship. This match made me happy because Moxley is no longer the IWGP World Champion. It's back on Naito. Naito gets to be in the G1. Moxley can go back to being on AEW. I don't need to see him in New Japan until next year, I guess, when he shows back up at Wrestle Kingdom.
He'll be at Wrestle Kingdom match. Yeah.
Oh, I was so scared at so many points that Moxley was going to retain this. But Naito in the end finishes it with that beautiful Destino for the win, and just made me happy.
I was thrilled. I would have been thrilled either way. Of course, I wanted Mox to retain because I love seeing him up against NJPW talents in NJPW style matches. Those are really entertaining for me. But that's me being selfish and, not think about the bigger story. I
He did the
thought
hook.
it was really
He
good
did.
to see. Oh, sorry.
Naito did hook tough.
I was so
That Raven's
pissed.
face.
He
So good.
spat on Mox. He didn't.
Yes.
He spat on. I was like, oh, the blood is fine. Everything is good. You do. Oh, he spat on him. Time to put him down.
3 times.
God, such a bad idea. Honestly, I just, it was. I wanted what I got. I almost wanted more violence, but that's just because I'm I expect more violence of both men. It was a very solid match. Naito fucked him up. There was so much back and forth. And here's the thing is if you were listening, Nigel and JR gave a lovely history lesson. A fantastic little history lesson. And it was good. These men are trying to educate as they
Yes,
tell. And for
but
me, it's really easy to listen and learn while I'm watching because I was blind for most of my life. So hearing is how I, did most of what I did anyway. I didn't see without a pair of glasses from the year I was, I want to say 7 until I was 35 or 34. So listening to it is, no big deal for me. And I find having my attention drawn away from the action to a promo, having, being taken out of the show and the flow of the show with a promo doesn't do anything for me. So that's why there are completely and 100% the best. There is the best of both worlds. Their promo packages are good, and they have enough wrestling for people like me who don't really give a shit about the promo packages. Except that Mina promo package, the We Want Mina promo package was fucking sick.
But as much as, yes, they did a great job explaining the history, but the thing I know from listening to casual people, you need to sell them on. Remember, this is a company where you need to pay $50 per pay-per-view if you don't get a great deal on whatever, right? You have to sell them on wanting to see John Moxley versus Tetsuya Naito, right? You have to sell them on that before the match happens. So that's where I feel like the 30-second promo means something. You know what I mean? I love the history lesson that you learn and getting to expand more past that 30 seconds while you're watching them and talking about how these two have gone to war over the years in New Japan itself. But yeah, I thought I don't like JR. I think
I don't either, but he did so well during this match.
Again, I'm watching with the group. We're not really listening to the commentary either because we have it down a little lower. We're watching more, just joking with each other, giving our own commentary. So I'm not really sure what he was doing too much. I would have rather had a Walker Stewart or a Chris Charlton there to be that information pocket, and then use JR in the main event. But that's a New Japan homer in me. Though.
Well, and also JR did work in New Japan. It was just many, many years ago. And that's why they brought him in, is because he's an American. He's a gaijin with a good, strong basis of history, as opposed to someone who is on the current roster doing the talking.
Well, Chris Charlton was literally, when JR was working for Access redubbing matches, Chris Charlton was the third man on the English commentary booth with Kevin Kelly and Don Callis as their translators. So again, that's why I wish it would have been Chris Charlton to come in, because he is literally the New Japan historian for English audiences. That's who he is.
I think it's that they needed a voice that people knew.
I will not argue that point. Again,
Yeah.
it's JR. He does know what he's talking about. He has so much history with John Moxley. He has called multiple Naito matches over the years when he was working for doing the Access
I think he was
English
ready for
dubs.
this one. And if this
Yeah.
for some reason becomes the final match he calls, I think it's maybe the best match he's called in a very long
Well,
time.
I guess Will Ospreay and Swerve would be the final match he calls, but
Well, yeah.
it's
Where
his
was I going
final
with this?
show.
I really enjoyed, like really, really enjoyed, that we got to see Mox's NJPW theme here, and we saw him in kick pads. You know, a seriousness that I don't think we've seen. He was ready to go to war. He had said he was ready to go to war. He said he was
I've
ready to
seen it.
destroy this person. And huh?
I've seen it. Every time he shows up in New Japan, that's what he wears.
Is he
wears the
wearing kick pads?
This is New Japan Moxley you saw tonight. It's the guy that shows up in kick pads. He's got.
I
his,
don't
his
remember him
fight
being
ready.
in kick pads before. He
Oh, yeah.
wears the shorts and the knee braces, not the knee braces. He wears the knee pads. I don't know if
No,
he
yeah.
wears full kick
He's
pads.
he wears the kick pads, and his New Japan gear is usually got the kick pads on now. That's what he's kind of like evolved into. Again, he is very much distinctive in how he does things. There is AEW Moxley and there is New Japan Moxley. He has a distinct difference in how he wrestles, how he presents himself, how he looks in this. I know I've seen it, and I find it absolutely beautiful.
I see the difference. Yeah.
Yeah.
Did he wear the kick pads at Bloodsport? I don't think he
Bloodsport
did.
Bushido? No,
Yeah,
because I think
Bloodsport Bushido.
didn't he wore more his fight style stuff.
Yeah, he wore trunks.
Yeah, that's where he was in his fight style gear for to
Yeah.
face Barnett. Yeah.
So, oh my God,
Just
that match.
absolutely tremendous. Just this match was the commentary did it perfect. These two just had so many near spots where I thought either man can win, and Naito finishing off that beautiful Destino to take that title back to Japan where it belongs, because it does not belong on John Moxley anymore. I'll say it anymore. And yeah. And really, Mox wrestles and my immediate question is always, how much is this man about to bleed? And he bled absolutely nothing. Tonight.
You know he's going to lose when he doesn't bleed. You know he's losing when he doesn't bleed.
He did. He didn't. When he beat Shota, was it Shota Umino?
Shota Umino, that was
when he beat Umino, he didn't bleed until after the match when Ren Anita hit him with the push-up bar. So
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And that was a mark of respect, I think, towards Shooter.
100%. They want to give Shooter that pure match, right? So
yeah, and I think Shooter, is gonna hold that title and be amazing one day. I just think Shooter's the best. I love Mox's young boy. I have loved Mox's young boy since he hauled him back from the ring in 2019. That was sick.
Yep. You know what the messed up part about Shota Umino is?
Mm.
Current young lion, Bolton Oleg, has more title reigns than Shota Umino does.
Not shocked. Not shocked.
And that's a man who is still a young lion too. And Umino is graduated. Bolton Oleg is still a young lion. He has a title.
Speaking of Shooter being on Mox's sort of side and everything, Red Shoes was there. Red Shoes was calling the match. I love Red Shoes. I've met him. He's a real sweet dude. He really likes my girlfriend and I because we really like him.
I've always been on the other side of fire, Red Shoes. You really suck. Fire.
I love Red Shoes.
I've come around on Red Shoes in this last little while. Don't worry.
I love Red Shoes. I think he's just the best.
I still think Barty Asami and Taito are better.
The best to everybody, but it also helps that I really enjoyed his work in the G1. I like when a ref is just good, when a ref is consistent, when a ref gets on really well with certain fighters, you can see them do their best work. Like when Aubrey is on a Jericho match, she carries. I think a few of the refs can kind of do that. I think Bryce is capable of carrying. I don't know. I thought it was really cool. I like seeing my boy. I like seeing
To
the
me, the
referee of
best
my
ref,
heart, my sweet
the
referee.
best referee is a referee you don't notice until you have to, and Aubrey Edwards is not one of those referees.
I do know. Oh, for you.
For me. Yeah. But again, that's just my personal opinion. And
Yeah.
yes, it's true. Aubrey has to carry Jericho in every match he's in because Jericho sucks.
Yeah, I just think she's cool. She's a good dude.
I am truthfully chilled with who she is. I like her. I have a couple friends that have met her, and I know how chill she is. I find her too distracting in a wrestling ring.
See, and I
That's the point.
don't.
Is I
I don't
find her
see her
she's
distracting though.
always too big about how she does things. I like when
I
a
don't
ref
even notice
reacts.
her.
Oh, I see her every time, and it's just like
I don't notice her at
she's going
all.
and like and
Nope.
just too big of reactions. I like a ref who gives a little reaction and go back to her thing. She gets way too big a reaction. Again, personal opinion. And yes, Chris Parrish in the chat. Jessica Carr is the GOAT. Yep.
Okay.
WB.
Right. Match 10.
The final match, the main event of the evening. It is Swerve Strickland versus my boy right here, Will Ospreay, baby. Let's go. I'm so excited.
It was such a good fucking match. It was another one that I didn't want to look away from. You don't understand it. It's fun for me because I know they're besties, like real life besties. And they've known each other for so long. And Will had such a shitty week that you knew that this was an extremely therapeutic match between two people who know each other's limits and bodies, maybe better than anybody else, who have come up very sharply in two different promotions. Other than maybe Omega and Ibushi, because they spent time in very different promotions as well for a certain amount of time.
Not his mom, his grandmom.
Yeah, his nan is what he said.
grandmom.
His nan. That's his grandmother.
Yeah. But yeah, dude, to pull this match out that he did, dude, this might have been the best match I've seen this year.
No, Jericho and Aubrey are friends, so that's not
100%. 100%.
Yeah,
They are good friends.
they're very good friends. And there are no other women in the company who can carry him or ever need to. I think she's literally the only woman he interacts with on screen.
Yeah. I think there might be a reason behind that, but I don't know.
Yeah. Hey, it's all hearsay until we see paperwork.
It's true. But holy shit,
I want
man.
that paperwork, man. Ospreay came in to this match paying homage to Hayabusa, right?
Yeah.
Because that was Hayabusa's mask. Jim Jones from Dipset brought out Swerve. Holy shit, that did it for me. I popped.
I didn't know who that was.
Dipset. Yeah,
I had no idea who that was.
Yeah, no,
my knowing of rappers ended in like 2004. So
there's been so much. Let me put you on a couple of dudes. Let me put you on.
I don't
Kendrick.
need to listen to. Okay, I know
no,
Drake.
He's not. Kendrick's not a mumble rapper.
Oh, and I know Kendrick Lamar. I know Kendrick Lamar. He has that. He did that song with Taylor Swift, right? Bad Blood.
Yes, he was the feature on Bad Blood, but he's also considered the best rapper of our time. and he united the Bloods and the Crips on Juneteenth, which y'all don't have Juneteenth up there, but you get the concept. I'll explain it to
Oh,
you
I
after.
I know what it is. I know what that is. I have enough friends who have told me about it, and I'm like, that's actually weirdly why the world doesn't know about that. I don't understand. I just really don't.
But it's just it was he's so good. He's just an amazing writer. So I think you would really enjoy his more serious work. Like I said, I can put you on some of it's pretty great. This is why we need Jeff Jarrett versus Swerve. You do you, buddy. Yeah, but I also know you're pushing me. Uh, you're pushing me because I love rap. I love hip hop. So, oh,
Yeah.
Kendrick won a Pulitzer.
Really?
Yeah, he's the only hip hop artist to ever win a Pulitzer. The only rapper to ever win a Pulitzer.
But I
Anyway,
get props to
later.
Osprey's entrance though, because he was wearing the Hayabusa mask and hanging off was his other Hayabusa tribute mask that he had like a year or two ago. He did a Hayabusa tribute when he was all in green, and he actually wore the puffy Hayabusa pants, and that was the Shota Umino match for the United States title.
Yes.
And he
Yes,
was
it
wearing the
was.
puffy. I think it was last fall. I want to say he did
Mhm.
that. It was him and it was those two.
That
And
was
yeah, it was the-
when, that was
and he
that
had
first round of visas because he had to go.
yeah
He, like everybody else, had to go back with that first round of visas.
yeah.
Shooter did.
And his was hanging down. He had that mask tied to the mask he was wearing, hanging down. And when he was at the ring stuff, so he was holding both masks. I was like, oh, that is absolute perfection.
Yeah. So as I would absolutely say to Millie, the girlies are definitely sure that these two men have explored each other's bodies, and my girlfriend says at the very least they did hand stuff, and I agree. They were extraordinary in the match together. It honestly seems like Swerve can't have a bad match, and it seems like Swerve can't have a match where it's not extremely sexual. Like, it just immediately exudes, unresolved sexual tension, and I don't know, there's something really cool about that. There's serious big dick energy with both of these men, and so seeing them go at it and really lock horns was so cool. This had a really good big fight feel. It was weird to see him in like fighter gear, to see Swerve in fighter
Mhm.
gear
I love that.
as opposed to like ring gear. I was so impressed. This
Mhm.
had a big fight feel. They had a weigh in. They had a nose to nose. It was so good. It was so good. Ah,
Just
ah,
it just everything they were doing, that early sequence of each one flipping out of the other's moves early on, just
so
perfection.
beautiful.
The swerve blade at one point in the match where he just cracked Osprey in the face with that hidden blade was just so good. Dude. Oh, hey, Millie. Will is another one I never saw in Tap. It's only in the past because most people, other than the couple matches that Osprey has had in AEW, haven't seen him until these last few months because his shit has all been in New Japan or Rev Pro or or Warrior Wrestling when he was their champion.
Mhm.
Like he wasn't readily available to the North American crowd. Now he is, and people are now seeing why this man is on another freaking level.
He's just so charismatic and he's so strong. You can tell that, and the way they choreographed the match was genius. And it shows you how strong both competitors were. And it just, I would watch it again. I'd watch it
Yeah,
again 100 times. And yes, as a person, it's really cool to see him show love for his family. It's cool to see him show love for his compatriots, for his opponents. It's a good time. He's a good time. Enjoy that good time while we have him. And I think it was really smart, especially because he knew members of his family were sick. to not sign with WWE, because
Yeah.
Tony is well known for making sure people get the time off they need to have healthy
Hawk.
physical and spiritual lives. So
Hawk.
again, not dick riding here, but WWE was going to put limits on what Mercedes could do with Disney. Whereas Tony Khan is like, oh, you need a fucking ride? We got you covered. You want to come back when you want to come back? Do it after you're finished with your recording. And that takes a leader who's not afraid to lose while also winning. Like this is someone who winning means something different than what it means to everybody else. And again, I'm not dick riding, but I do see him as being a very different kind of boss. Whether he's always a good boss or not, I'm not here to say, especially because he has dropped the ball several times. But he hasn't dropped the ball nearly as bad as he has with the Jags.
And Mike is right. When you have a roster of the sides, again, you think about who we're missing
Yeah.
some of the top stars in this company, and we're still getting like what would be equivalent to Meltzer 5-star bangers. Like we're still
Yeah.
getting that, and we're missing some of the top people in this company.
Watching Will and Swerve trade finishes, it was so compelling. Like it happens in situations, in matches all the time, and it's not necessarily compelling. It was compelling here. I wanted Swerve to hurt him more. I did. And he ended up, giving a good amount of head injuries to his bestie. And hopefully his bestie is feeling a little better about how shitty his week was, because he got to keep his belt. He knew he was always going to lose. So that's off the table. I mean, it stings, but sometimes if you go to work and you work real hard physically after a loss, like physically work right after a loss, like almost immediately, it feels so much better.
Yeah.
Millie said she saw clips of the match and oofed. Yeah, oofed is right. I think there's some head trauma.
Yeah, these two like tore the house down. I love the
Yes,
stuff with Callis coming in wanting to use the screwdriver, and then Nana getting involved and him ready to stab Nana, but then saying no, I'm not going to do that to you, and then it cost him the match because those multiple house call kicks into that JML driver to finish it. Like,
beautiful work. Always beautiful work from Swerve. He can make anybody look good. Both guys unloaded the tank, said Mike the ref, and the story of the match is when, like, the strong story of the match, yes, was Ospreay listening to Winnipeg Wiener.
he lost focus and it cost
Don
him the
Callis,
match.
and he lost focus. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It did. It really
The
cost him it.
fucking screwdriver. I was so glad to see that screwdriver go away. Those always make me so nervous. I don't generally care how well the two opponents know each other, but that particularly always makes me very nervous. More so than the dog collar or the chains.
Yeah, and after the Roosh stuff this on Saturday, and like Roosh walking up to the family after Fletcher left, it just makes me feel like Callis kind of eventually just have the family turn on Ospreay.
Yeah,
and then I think I have a feeling he might not have this international title after Wednesday, because I think Callis screws him out of this title, and then Fletcher gets booted with him. And that's when we're going to get. I've been saying I want Mark Davis back, and I want them just to be the Empire again. I just want that United Empire. Yes, 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 yes. Oh, but just the perfect way to cap off this show, man. It
really is.
Perfect ending.
Beautiful show. Beautiful show. I felt I got my money's worth and then some. I feel like if you really hated the show, one, it definitely wasn't your kind of wrestling. Like, you already knew it wasn't going to be your kind of wrestling and you watched anyway. Or
Mhm.
2, you weren't watching.
Yeah.
It's really hard for me to look at this and think you're a wrestling fan if you hated it, because it was good old-fashioned wrestling and new-fashioned wrestling, because there was nothing old-fashioned about what happened in the title weight in the heavyweight title match.
No.
It was absolutely new style
Mhm.
and new broadcast style when we're talking about Swerve, and it's just good. It was just good.
Yeah. I love this. I thought this was just everything on this pay per view, top to bottom, was just so good. Yeah, again, Dijak drove to the show, but he didn't get involved just to
We
watch,
just watched.
just watch some good professional wrestling, and I love that. I love that. I really
I
do.
love it when oh my god, they're just like us. For real.
But
But
we've come to
yes.
the end.
Yes, yes. Oh
Lauren,
my god. That show was sick.
it was just the best thing I could ask for.
Yeah, I needed it. This month has been like, I'm so glad that we do have Pride, but this was one of the most tough Pride months to get through. And I believe it was the same with Men's Mental Health Month. June was hard in a way that maybe May wasn't. And it was especially hard for people in our community. And to see not just good wrestling, but good queer wrestling, because Will is bi. So we had an openly bi man as the challenger, and he's already a title holder. We have an extraordinarily diverse group of sexualities within this company. Even still, not quite as diverse as when the company started, but damn, we got a lot of bicons and a lot of queer representation, and I love that. I love that for us. It made me feel a lot better at the end of a rough month.
Mm-hmm. Again, just the great, good feeling coming out of this show.
Yeah. Yeah. The vibes were immaculate the entire time.
They were.
So
Where can they
seeing
find
as
you?
we're finally coming to the end. Oh, sorry. Seeing as we're finally coming to the end of the show, we've been on and off and here and there since probably 6 p.m. getting everybody together. It is 2:30 in the morning where we are. You can find
2:30 where
me
you are.
in the future on Twitter at Lulu Goodnight. That's LULUGOODNIGHT, and Twitch at twitch.tv/Lauren Goodnight. As well, you can catch me on Mark Talks Gaming or Mark Talks Wrestling. I want to say it's Mark Talks Wrestling, where I am a part of a cast of 3 doing live action booking and live action GM characters for a very, very fun 2K24 playthrough being run by Mark. I hope that you'll come by and check it out. And even if you don't, come by and see me on Twitter. Again, that's at Lulu Goodnight, LULUGOODNIGHT.
You can find me on the X at That Canada Guy, TikTok, Instagram, and Threads at That Canada Dude, on Facebook at Andre Melba Wrestling Talk, and on YouTube at youtube.com/at Andre and Melba Wrestling Talk.
Mike, I'm not doing a 24-hour stream.
Mike, you do
No.
another 24-hour stream and maybe she'll think about it. Maybe.
I will do it if I need the money. I will do a subathon. But beyond that, I am going to go. I'm going to take a just huge Percocet because my head is just throbbing after looking into lights directly for 2.5 hours. And so y'all join me in the sleepiness afterwards. And we've had a great time. Andre, I've had a wonderful time, and I'm very glad that Ed was here to get us started,
Me
and didn't
too.
even give me a whole bunch of shit. He didn't even poke the bear. I gotta love that.
Surprised. I'm really surprised. I
Ugh.
missed the first couple minutes of the stream before I got it up going on my phone while I was on my way home. So I'm glad he didn't poke the bear.
Yeah, very, very happy about that. Thank you, Mike. Thank you, Millie. Thank you, Parker, for showing up. This was fantastic. We had a really good time interacting with y'all and interacting with each other. This was such a good pay-per-view. If you weren't able to grab it, I hope you'll see 0 Hour on YouTube and then run over to Fight TV globally or YouTube and Bleacher Report and grab yourself a copy of Forbidden Door.
Thank y'all for joining us. We really, really, really appreciate it.
We love you.